we did a story on Monday about the paramedic shortage.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that was brought up by a couple of the departments that we had talked to in Cumberland County and Dauphin County was the need for kind of like these academies to get young folks into the programs earlier, or just to grab people who want to stay in the area long term and get them through, get them training, get them working. So talk about what you guys are doing there in Lancaster EMS, because it certainly sounds relevant to that paramedic shortage.
Well, again, I could discuss the paramedic shortage as well. Part of my other job is I'm the program director at the Pennsylvania College of Health Sciences for the paramedic program as well. So I could talk about both if you need that. But again, what we're doing here is not an original idea. Lancaster EMS with the Pennsylvania College of Health Sciences ran a successful EMT program for many years. But what we found out is most individuals may not be aware that EMS is a career and a valid career. So over the 5 years of my tenure here so far, we saw dropping enrollment at the PA College. And this has been a program we've been working on for about the past 2 years, the viability as well as the cost behind it. So we partnered in a collaboration with Pennsylvania Career Link for all of those reasons you talked about, making individuals aware that EMS is a valid career choice. You may not want to go to college, the military. So what we needed to do was we needed to step up. So with our Learn to Earn program, with PA Career Link, we will pay qualified individuals $13 an hour to come in and learn how to become a EMT and sit and after 12 to 15 weeks, sit for their boards, which is known as the National Registry of EMTs, to come out with a certification that will allow them to work for Lancaster EMS. There is an 18-month commitment that goes along to the end of that, but what we're trying to do is grow our own. We're trying to make it where most people within the Commonwealth typically see EMS still as 30, 40 years ago as a volunteer opportunity to better your community. We're trying to entice the young people to say, hey, look, we want you. We want to encourage you to come to work for us. Here's $13 an hour. Learn the process, learn what you need to do to sit for, instead of paying previously for tuition, because again, unfortunately, there's a lot of, issues because it is not a credit granting program. We don't get FIA grants. We don't get student loans for our educational process in EMS in this area. So we took it upon ourselves to we're going to be hiring individuals to do this process, get them through, and have them work for us.
As far as when you're getting this thing off the ground, what it's going to look like, where classes would be, what people would do. Can you just kind of go through that a little bit?
Sure. We have an application process which opened up yesterday. We were trying to go for an April 1st, but I've actually gotten with word of mouth through our employees. We got a word of mouth. So we opened it a little early. People would apply via our website at www.lemsa.com. And there's an employment application that is separate from our standard employment. It's the Learn to Earn application. Individuals, it is a competitive process. We are looking to bring in no more than 12 individuals per class. Whether or not this becomes successful, it is reproducible, so we'll be able to do that. But with that, as far as testing and interview process, students will, our program is slated to start the second week in September. And then with that, students will come to our 100 East Charlotte station, where we have a training room and all of our equipment, our training units and all that. And class will run Monday through Friday from 2 in the afternoon until 11 o'clock at night. Then what we will do is, as students learn their skills, we will start reducing that classroom time, and we will start putting people out with our educated and trained FTOs, field training officers, where those individuals will learn to apply what they've learned in the classroom directly onto the streets in Lancaster County.
As far as, what you've seen in the field the last year, I think has really changed things for everybody. But I've had it mentioned to me that, people are getting out of the field as well, just because of the stress that a lot of you have endured, the things that you've had to go through. the daily routine, which has changed in order to, protect the health and safety of not only yourselves, but also the patients. Have you noticed, I know there was already a need going into the pandemic. So what I'm trying to say is, do you think the need's greater now that we're on the other side of this thing?
Very much so. I had discussed earlier with some of my colleagues the fact that we have been looking at usually we will interview, we have a continuous interview process for new graduates, for anyone that wants to come in and work for Lancaster EMS. We do that every 2 weeks, and we start a new hire group every first full week of the month. For the last 2 months, we have not had any orientation groups for EMTs or paramedics. So we are down right now on our EMTs. We're down anywhere between 15 to 20 individuals right now out of a staffing of about 150. We're down anywhere between 4 to 5 paramedics and I would guess to say, again, 15 to 18 people at the EMT level.
Yeah, and obviously that's a problem, right?
Yes, it is. That adds to the stress. That adds to, yes, there's overtime. So it does have, there's a continuum of problems that has, which does lead to burnout. As a EMS professional for the past 30 years, when we see the changes in COVID, there are changes in technology, our needs, call volume increases. I was liking this earlier to my introduction into EMS, which was in 1989, 1990, when we were at the blooming of the AIDS virus, and how that a lot of our PPE changes at that point changed going forward. We're seeing, with the PPE involvement of the N95s, the PAPR 100s, and not only protecting ourselves, but also the patient as well, making sure that they have masks on. And with that. So yes, there is a change, and it has added stress all around.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, we're paying $13 an hour, learn to earn. And after that, it's an 18-month commitment, and you'll be bumped up to $15 an hour with all full benefits after such time.